All right, hello people. It's time for another video, I guess. Knowing that I've been slacking lately, mostly because I've been focused too much on the podcast lately. But what's it called? I had to talk about the Architect's new record for those who that wish to exist. Of course, I'm looking off because I got an iPad down here looking at the stuff so I could remember and make sure what stuff I'm doing. But anyway, I had to talk about this record because they dropped Animals a few what's it called, like a month ago, 2 months ago, something like that. But anyway, they dropped it a while ago, and then they kept on teasing songs. And this sounds totally different from like most of their, or I shouldn't say totally different. It's just more like pop sounding version of an Architect's record. At least to me, that's what it kind of gets the impression about. Because I've only listened to like a few songs from Architects. I keep getting something stuck in my eye. But I think it was Doomsday was the first one that I heard from them. And then it was like Modern Misery, Hereafter, and a few other ones that I was listening to beforehand. And this was before, because I was listening to Wage War and a few other bands that they were talking about, that they were the Blah band, where they would always they would do like very technical stuff in their music, and then they would always do a bleh in there, which is like kind of like a scream, but it sounds like a bleh whenever they do it. So like it made sense to me, like whenever I heard from Wage War and a bunch of other bands that kind of took note from Architects, that I started listening to them, but I never fully got into them, it seems like. But then this record happened, and I started to enjoy it. Like, Do Your Dream of Armageddon is a good song. Like, I really like it really sets a tone for the whole album as a whole. I mean, that's the main thing about this one, is that it sounds like an Architects record with most of the songs. They sound like Architects. Of course, it's like the same members and stuff like that, so it's not really that much different. But like, it just sounds like more if they got like, what's his name? I think it's Rick Rubin. I think that's his name. Where he composed Metallica and a bunch of other bands, where they pretty much sent them out into the mainstream. It's like asking I can't even say the name. Asking Alexandria and Bring Me to the Horizon, where they were super, super like hardcore at first, when they first did their first like 2 or 3 albums, and then now it just like sounds like totally different. It's more like rock friendly or radio friendly type of songs, and that's what it seems like to me is this record as a whole. And it's really good. There's a lot of good songs on it. I think like I could listen to like every single one, like all the main songs that they released before the album came out. Like Animals, definitely by far is probably my favorite. Just like, except for like Dead Butterflies, probably like a lot of people don't enjoy Dead Butterflies at all, like a lot. But like to me, I really enjoy the song. But I definitely think that the standout on this record is Animals, just because the video is cool, like the smoke popping out of their head and stuff like that, and then the red smoke bombs and stuff like at one point. The visuals are super cool. And then like I think Dead Butterflies is mostly like a live video type of thing with like black and white or like grayish colors or whatever. But it's not like really anything different. I mean, Black Lungs, I really enjoy listening to that. That's what I'm saying. Most of them, or like the singles that they dropped, or at least it seems like they would be the singles off of the record, knowing that they released them first, or that they were just like they liked them the most. I don't know for sure, but like most of the songs, like Meteor, Black Lungs, Dead Butterfly, and Animals, are all good. I do love like all those songs, like, and it set me. And like, of course, when I was listening to it, I was like, I could already tell I'm gonna enjoy the whole record, because certain ones I could tell, like whenever it's one thing when I hear like one or two songs and I'm just like, okay, I might not like the whole thing. And it has happened where I have liked four or five of the songs and then the rest of it I just didn't really care for. Like, but this one I just knew that I was probably gonna enjoy like most of the songs. I don't know why, it just felt like that. Like Impermanence is probably one of the ones where it was just on the record that I just really enjoyed listening to, and I'm probably gonna come back to it often enough. Same with Flight Without Feathers. I really enjoyed listening to that one too. Like, that's the main thing, is that it sounds like, especially I think it's Dead Butterflies and maybe Meteor. The It sounds like they could play this at like an amphitheater or something, and it would have like the kind of the weight that like most cellists and stuff like that whenever they do the performing. Like I think Metallica's done it before and a few other bands have done it where they've performed. So I think Bring Me the Horizon has done it too, like in London or whatever, where they went with the Philharmonic or one of the other ones where they did the music and then like violinists and pianists and a bunch of other people were in the background filling in the thing. That's why I think that this one is more of an epic, or at least it sounds like it's supposed to be an epic version of what they've done before. Like that, and that's mostly what, because to me it sounds exactly what I've heard like on their press records, like most of the iffy songs, or not, I shouldn't say iffy, but the ones that I've only listened to like one or two songs or whatever, I haven't listened to the whole record yet eventually. But like this one makes me want to go back and listen to every single one to like be like, I want to see like a theme between like all of them, where it all sounds like the record has like a story that builds that's intertwined without it. Like I think it's Dying is Absolutely Safe, where it talks about like, do you want to live forever and stuff like that, where it's talking about like pretty much not just faltering, not just living your life and not trying to achieve anything, where it just feels like you're just stuck in the motions. You're not trying to do anything better in your situation, type of thing. And then Impermanence is kind of like the same way, where it's just like you get stuck in a rut and it's like hard for you to get out, kind of thing, or at least like you're like you don't know how to. So that's why I think that it's kind of like all the songs are kind of like that. And it's like Animals, it feels like it's kind of talking about how certain people just don't really care about other people, like and you feel like that people are just going to keep doing the same old without you there or not. Or at least that's what I felt that it was. And it's kind of like this one is like, I don't know, it's kind of like talking about like trying to overcome your whatever problems that you have. It's more like positive in that regard. That's why I definitely think that like this whole thing I could replay often enough, and I've played it for like at least since it came out. I've played it at least a few times, like at least like every time I'm at work I've been playing it, mostly because they scream and stuff like that. It's like a metal band, but like they don't scream like often enough, or I shouldn't say often enough, where it's like too much, where like I'm at work and I listen to metal a lot, and well, I pretty much listen to anything, but like people do not care all that much for me playing metal because it's screaming and stuff like that. But like this one, I've seen people be like, ooh, I like this a lot, and type of stuff. And that's why I think that Dead Butterflies and a lot of the other songs on this are like work well. And it kind of like, if they were trying to be successful, this one is a record that they should be like, this is probably where they're gonna go from here, where they're probably gonna sound like this on every record. Like Bring Me the Horizon has done it, like I talked about in my past review with them, was that what's it called? I thought that they were kind of blending their old style, where it was like a lot of deathcore and very like haywire, and it's in like kind of controlled, but it's kind of controlled chaos type of thing. And this feels like kind of the same, where it sounds like an Architects record, but it's more like for anyone to listen to rather than just who usually listens to records from Architects. So, or at least that's what I'm taking out of it. And I definitely recommend the album. I've already seen that they've been already pushing a lot of these on what's it called? A lot of the albums, like Alex Hefner, that's on here, that does like a lot of music record reactions and stuff like that. He pretty much went through the whole album, or at least he went through like 6 or 7 songs off of it, where he was reacting to it. So, and that's not just him, it's like a bunch of people reacting to this album. So I'm not really surprised. And definitely this is probably going to be one of the main top ones for like at the end of the year. Like they're probably going to talk about the best of the year or whatever. And this is probably going to be in contention. Not saying that it's probably going to be the best one, but like it's probably going to be in there where they're like, oh yeah, the best one so far. And this will probably be like, I don't know, in the top 10 probably. At least I can't say that it will be number 1, but like it'll probably be like in there somewhere, or at least to me. So I guess I've pretty much been talking about this long-winded anyway. So what's it called? I'm sorry, I know that it took me a little bit. I don't even know if like a bunch of people are watching these videos anyway, like especially that I haven't been on here for a while. So for that, you can go to the website, theheartofgeek.com, and that will have all the YouTube channels, all the videos on it. We have a kids channel. We're doing the dynamic diecasters and all sorts of stuff. We try to end up having it where it's for like everybody, involving everybody. Like we just started a true crime podcast and stuff like that, where we're talking about like certain true crimes. Like we did Night Stalker the other day. So I mean, I'm trying to do all sorts of stuff. I'm thinking about doing like a anime one soon too. I don't know for sure if anybody would want to listen to it, but it's mostly because I've been like listening to it like way often now. But for that, I guess for you can like and subscribe any of the stuff that we are doing, and I guess we will talk to you in the next video. All right, bye bye.